Dad, can I play this new Pokemon game?
Sure, go ahead, son.
1 hour later.
Stop talking. All I want to do is go explore and catch Pokemon. That's it. I'm playing Minecraft.
Pokémon Legends Arceus is the newly released game that was portrayed to break many of the traditional conventions of the previous Pokémon games. And now that I've had the chance to play it, I believe that it has done just that. And I'm sincerely impressed. But before you can get into that new dynamic catching and battling gameplay mechanics, you have to get through the beginning first. When you begin playing a video game for the first time, you have your hands on the controller, ready to move, hit, catch, steal, or do something soon. Sure, most games begin with the epic cutscene to watch first, and then you start playing. But in Pokémon Legends Arceus, the most your fingers will do for the first 10 minutes or so is repeatedly press the A button to read more dialogue. Then after that, you finally get to catch your starter Pokémon. Yay! Oh wait, he wants you to catch all 3? Well, sweet. I get all 3 starter Pokemon at the beginning to... Wait, he wants them all back? You don't get to actually select your starter Pokemon until roughly 30 minutes into the game. And most of that time was reading dialogue. In comparison, Pokemon Red gets to the starter Pokemon selection around 4 minutes into the game. And to make matters worse, in Pokemon Legends Arceus, the tutorial goes on for about an hour. By that time in Pokemon Red, you could have already defeated the first gym. While it's true that Arceus has a grander story to tell than Red's, it still doesn't justify the beginning of the game needing to have such a slow start. On the other hand, I don't believe all that dialogue is truly the problem.
Whoa, what?
Let me explain. New York Times best-selling author Brandon Sanderson taught that one of the things that makes a good beginning of a story is making a promise that will later be fulfilled. For example, Harry Potter Chapter 1 promised to the readers a magical world hidden within the modern world and a mystery about an orphan child yet to be solved. The opening scene of Inception promised to the viewers a mind-bending story about dreams that'll only make sense if you pay close attention. And the intro to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild promised to the gamers a massive open world that you can climb and explore to your heart's content. And each of those stories successfully delivered those things as the stories went on. The important thing is that each of those stories made sure to make the right promises at the beginning. So that, I believe, is what Arceus failed to do. It didn't make the right promise at the beginning. What does the beginning promise us? A mystery about some powerful being who sends us back in time to catch all the Pokemon? Okay, cool. And then a professor and a village of people who talk a lot. But here's the thing. It's actually good for the user to learn early on that there will be a lot of text to read in this game because, yes, there will be plenty more dialogue to come throughout the game. It's best to set that expectation somewhere around the start of the game. So what promise did Pokemon Legends Arceus fail to offer at the beginning? I believe it should have made the promise of an open world to explore and dangerous Pokemon to avoid, battle, capture, and train. That, I believe, is why most people bought this game, and I believe the game actually did a decent job of delivering on that promise. It's just, some players, such as my son, never got to that part of the game before giving up. They never got to find out what new things this game has to offer to the franchise. They were already convinced this was a boring game with mostly talking and not enough Pokemon action, and that's because the right promise wasn't made at the beginning. Let me restate what Pokemon Legends Arceus should have promised at the beginning. An open world to explore and dangerous Pokemon to avoid, battle, capture, and train. The fact that we can actually get hurt by the Pokemon changes everything for me. You see, I grew up playing Pokemon Red when it first came out on the Game Boy. I was hooked, and I've been a fan of the franchise ever since. But in that game, and in every game since, your Pokemon trainer couldn't ever get hurt by Pokemon. You'd always throw out one of the Pokemon you trained to defend you. The worst thing that could happen after your 6th Pokemon fainted is you'd instantly respawn at the last Pokemon Center you visited. I always wished the game felt more like the cartoons, where Ash Ketchum and his friends were frequently running from dangerous Pokemon and sometimes getting severely injured. Also, after playing The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, many people, and myself included, wish there was an open world Pokemon game.
Just to have a game like Skyrim, where you go around in this huge open environment, just like the one behind me right now, traversing the landscape and stumbling across real life Pokemon. Pikachu down there, or a other kind of Pokemon that's not a Pikachu down there that I can see in the distance and I can go and walk to and throw my Pokeball at, or I can throw a Pokemon at and start battling.
And lo and behold, Pokémon Legends Arceus arrived just in time to fill that void, especially since Sword and Shield attempted but failed to fill it. I've thoroughly enjoyed exploring the ancient history region, finding all sorts of Pokemon, lore, and mysteries to solve. While the open world aspect still can't compete with Zelda Breath of the Wild, the new catching and battling gameplay mechanics are very satisfying and exciting. I love that when all your Pokemon faint, you still have to run away from the dangerous Pokemon or suffer the fatal consequences. This is the first game where I actually felt like I was playing as a Pokemon trainer and not just an assortment of the 6 most powerful Pokemon I came across. So these unique features are what the game should have emphasized at the very beginning. Okay, so here's how I'd suggest the beginning could have gone. Right after the mysterious being talks to us and drops us out of the sky, do not, I repeat, do not have a professor show up and start talking our ear off. Instead, leave our Pokemon trainer alone. Let us move him or her around and figure out the basic controls of crouching and dodging on our own. Then, some huge aggressive Pokemon appear, like a red-eyed Onix and more, and they start attacking us. We don't have any Pokeballs yet, so all we can do is dodge and hide while we make our way up a hill to a safe area. And then, at the top of the hill, the gorgeous regions of Hisui lays before us while the background music swells. There, that's the right promises made without hardly any dialogue required. As we descend the hill, we can then meet Professor Laventon, and he'll teach us how to catch and train Pokemon. This idea is essentially a mixture of Bowser's Fury and Breath of the Wild. I believe those two games did a fantastic job of promising us a great story and game to experience while using very little words and doing it at the very beginning. This small change for Arceus could have hooked someone like my son into the rest of the game with the determination to read whatever dialogue lay ahead, because he would know what to look forward to. While I've done my fair share of bashing on the beginning, overall, Pokémon Legends Arceus is a fantastic game with a rich story I am still eager to finish. It may even be my favorite Pokémon game so far. With all that said, hey son, would you like to give that Pokémon game another try?
Nah, I still want to play Minecraft.
Thanks for watching all the way to the end. Please help me out by liking the video and subscribing. If you want more, check out my Discord channel, Patreon page, and my books on my website. All links are in the description below. See ya.